welcome back to No Apologies. Today we continue with another argument from Father Rumble and Carty, showing that man's life will continue even after his body dies. And this argument is taken from man's natural desire to find a lasting happiness. Every person on the face of the earth has a natural desire to seek and to obtain an everlasting happiness. No one would argue that. If we believe our first point, that God is our creator, then we have to believe that He has intentionally created us with this desire, and He has provided for its rightful object. It will be able to be fulfilled. If not, that would be like God creating our ears, but not creating anything that makes sounds, or creating our eyes, but not creating any light so that we can see. But as it is, God has created our ears, and He has provided their complementary objects, things that make sounds. And He's provided for our eyes light and the objects which reflect light so that we can see. And so too, we can say that if God has given us this desire for lasting happiness, He has provided for its fulfillment. Now we all know from experience that no earthly or temporal good is able to fulfill this desire. Everything which we try to obtain, which we think will bring us a happiness, ends up bringing just a momentary joy or pleasure, and sooner or later ends up leaving us disappointed and empty-handed, and we find ourselves on the search once again for the everlasting happiness. So if no earthly good is able to fulfill this desire, then we have to reason that the Creator plans to fulfill that desire in the life to come. And if we're going to enjoy that happiness, we have to be there. So we will continue to live on even after the body dies. Now some would say that those who believe in life after death have simply talked themselves into believing it because they want it to be true. It's a consoling thought, and it helps them cope with life's trials. We answer first that we haven't talked ourselves into it, but we've shown 4 arguments which show the reasonableness of our belief. And to look at these arguments and not to believe them is a violation of reason. At the same time, I say that yes, it is a consoling thought, and it does help us to get through the daily trudge. There are many people who have tried to live their lives to please God, and they're looking forward to spending eternity with Him. But on the same coin, there are also many people to whom the thought of eternal life is not consoling. Many people have lived their lives acting against their conscience, and have lived their lives ignoring their Creator. For them, the thought of a life after this life is a dreadful thing. But at the same time, even though it's not consoling, the conviction still remains that it's a reality. Here, we're not talking about just a momentary craving or a desire to live on. We're talking about a deeply seated natural tendency to live on, something which has been implanted in human nature by the Creator. Now this is so true that it's not a lie to say that every civilization, no matter how barbaric or ancient, as in general, has in some way believed in a life after death. So we conclude by saying that no one needs to persuade themselves that they're going to live on. But people do need to persuade themselves, and over again, that they're not going to live on. Or they just simply choose not to think about it. Thanks for joining me here on No Apologies. I hope to see you again soon. Ave Maria.